Hello. Hope you're doing well today. You see me without Denis because unfortunately we have an issue with the connection. I hope that this will be fixed within the coming few minutes. So welcome to another block chat. Today it's unfortunate for you, you'll be seeing my face for the whole period. So we're talking today about cycles, guys, and we're talking about why do cycles happen, what happens within our world every now and then, why do upturns take place, why do crashes do take place, and we'll talk about much of what impacts you. And the question that comes to mind, why cycles today? Why are we talking about cycles? We're talking about cycles because every now and then, when things go bad, as it is today, people start talking again about why is this happening? What is taking place in the world today? And I want to tell you guys that cycles are a normal stage in life. Yeah? You grow your hair. Have you ever grown your hair? If you're a lady, I'm sure you have. If you're a man, maybe you've not. When you grow your hair, the hairdresser or the barber tells you every now and then to cut the tips. Why? Because if you leave the hair to grow forever, you will never be able to grow a healthy and sustain that growth level with time. So what you do and what you end up doing is you end up cutting the tips. So you grow, then it grows shorter when you cut the tips, then it grows longer again, and then you do this process over and over again. And this is the process of you growing a healthy hair. Simply, this applies also to economics in a way or another, and to our lives, and to markets. From real estate to any other financial instrument, be it cryptocurrency, if we can call it a financial instrument today, be it stocks, equities, or anything similar to that. So, by the way, Denis is coming online hopefully in minutes. It's working well for him. So, without keeping you away for that, I'll try to do it while I speak to you guys now. So let's talk about why. Why do issues happen in cycles? Why does a downturn take place, and why does a downturn affect markets? And I would tell you it's partly sentiment and then partly facts. Now, the question that I haven't answered for myself yet is it mostly sentiment? So does it happen because of sentiment, because we feel that way? Or do we feel that way because it happens? And although I haven't been able to realize a logical stream of thinking on that, I believe that, although I haven't been able to do so, I believe that the logical will be that it is generally sentiment. It's generally sentiment, our feelings, and when we feel in a certain way, things happen and impact our lives. And here I am sending to Denis the link, so hopefully he can join me. So what happens is, when we feel that way, the way we feel about the markets grow when we feel so good about them. And unfortunately, because we always feel that it will grow forever and it will continue growing, we continue putting that effort into the market growth, and we continue feeling that it's working and it's working well and it will continue to work. Now, here is Denis, so it's working. Let's hope that it continues working for the whole life. So, what happens, as Denis, were you hearing me? Were you listening to me?
No, I didn't hear you.
Very good.
Because I was having trouble with the Wi-Fi.
So we've been talking today at Block Chat about chicken.
Office. About what?
Chicken.
Oh yeah, I love chicken.
That's logical. So what happens is, it's, in my view, Denis, we're talking about cycles and why do cycles happen, and why would we today why would cycles take place, and why would we be impacted with cycles this way? And in my view, I don't have a decisive scientific answer yet, but hopefully you can help me today get to one. My view is that it's probably that we feel in a certain way. Our sentiment drives cycle, or mostly drives cycle, although they're natural in life. However, the steepness of the cycle and the severity of the cycle takes place majorly because of how we feel about things. So, in other words, if I wanna look at why does a cycle take place and why have a cycle taken place in the past, I would say that when the markets were growing, we felt so good about it and we felt that this is how it will look and feel forever. And when the market turned around, we felt that it's doomed forever. So what we've done is we've imposed the growth, and we also supported and fueled the drop and the crash. Do you agree? Do you feel that that's how it is, and that's what really happens?
Yeah, I think that's probably the reason for it. I would say. So I don't know. Hopefully the Wi-Fi is good and that people can hear me. But anyways, yeah, I think if we're talking about cycles of non-natural cycles of things of concepts or constructs that mankind has created for themselves, then yes, we definitely have an impact with our feelings towards a certain market, and we impact it. But there's for sure as well kind of mathematical answers for cycles to happen. I think we just accelerate it, or add oil to the fire, I would say. But something, I think it's more, it has much more to do with math than it has with feelings. But I think that the sentiment that people have towards something accelerates it, I would say.
Actually, you know what? While taking my son to school this morning, he said, Dad, why don't you get angry of this thing? I said, Dad, it's not like it doesn't upset me, but it's how I react to it. So it's partially how we react to things. The result that we obtain is based on that and is impacted by that. Do you agree? Do you feel the same? So I believe it impacts us this way, or cycles do impact us this way, because we act the way we act for cycles and towards cycles, isn't it? It seems that I lost.
Yeah,
I didn't lose you, but your image froze.
Yeah, my image froze. So
now it's back again. Now it's back again. So it's good. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I would agree. I would agree with what you just said. So I think we just make it's like we are so scared. Human beings, we're scared of life so much that we overreact in all the directions. And so, but I think that's also a feature of new markets, because if that's the human nature, the excitement about advancing something and then bringing new value to the world or to other people, is so exciting that we just overestimate what's going to happen, and we impact that, and we talk about it, enthusiastically, and we try to impact on others. And I think that's kind of then how we directly or indirectly move markets upwards and downwards.
So here. I'm blessed to be living in Dubai. You know, in Dubai, we've lived over the past few years, at least in the real estate industry, several cycles, 2 to 3 cycles. Now, if I was living in the UK, probably I would have lived one cycle out of all of those, or I would have been living in the same cycle. So probably some of the learning would have been diminished or eliminated. But when I talk about my learning on it, I see that when it's growing, we feel that it will grow forever. It will never drop. And when it drops, we feel that it will drop forever, and actually that fuels it. So when it drops, we start by denial. By the way, this cycles and the downturn has stages. And we first start with denial. No, it's not happening. It's a small blip. It will drop a little bit. In 2008, when the market crashed in the world globally, subprime and post-subprime, and when Lehman Brothers happened, and we were impacted in Dubai, for example, disastrously at that time, we felt at that time that it's just an impact of an international event, and this will not impact our market for long term. So I'll give you an example. I owned a property that dropped in value but stayed above the value I bought it at. I refused to sell it because I said, it's few weeks and it will turn out and I will sell it for much more profit. And then in a year, it became less than half the price, less than half the value. And that was so severe. That isn't how property markets act. And that, I believe, was the feature, as you said, of a very new market. However, after that denial, we realize that it's a reality. So we go into panic. And after panic, we then start living the other stages of cycle, first accepting it, understanding it, adapting it, and then learning how to deal with it. So here is a very important question. Yes, why do cycles happen? It's partly mathematics, and then we add fuel to it in sentiment. But is a cycle, is a downturn the end of a technology? Is it the end of an era where something was attempted and full stop, it didn't work, it dies and we move on? Is it?
I don't think so, no. I think technology has a much longer lifespan than we think. Just today I was listening, for instance, about artificial intelligence. It's been around for quite some time, at least as a word, which I must say it was coined as perfectly. Artificial intelligence is something that people would love to talk about, right? We're far away from intelligence, and probably the hype cycles of what it can bring have, there was a couple of cycles in that technology, but the technology still lives. It's still there, and it's even being used more now to actually solve real world problems, like trying to figure out patterns of decreasing time for medicine to come and cost of producing medicine. So the goals that they have in the US, for instance, are to, I would say, to basically eliminate most health-related issues by the end of this century. And they see artificial intelligence as being, the main driver for actually being able to achieve that goal. Now, is that feasible? I don't know, but there's going to be cycles, obviously, and there's going to be over expectations and under, and which will produce. If you expect too much, then obviously anything that comes out of it is below that expectation. So that drives cycles up and down, I guess.
Perfect. So you know what I've done while you're speaking? I've done it for two reasons. First, because I want to show the world this graph. Second, because your image froze again. So, when a cycle comes and something drops the severe way markets are dropping and things related to blockchain today are dropping, it's not the end. I will show you a graph and we will discuss it in a second. Are you seeing the graph, Denis, now while we speak, or no, you're not?
No, I'm seeing the chart.
Very good. So
my camera also seems to be working, so I guess it's something with the connection. Yeah.
Probably it may be. The whole idea is what I wanted to here discuss is, I believe that in the times or at times when things drop the way they are dropping, you see the big players come in to an industry. So when things were bubbling in 2017, it's 2017 when things were bubbling, isn't it? Is it, Denis?
2017, yeah. You mean in crypto?
Yes.
Yeah, things were going up 17, and then 18 there was this drop. Yeah.
Okay. So in 2017 things were growing, and at that time when things were growing, people were so excited about things, and then things crashed after that, isn't it?
Yeah, indeed.
Exactly. And when things crashed after that, people went into the mode of a disaster is coming, and this technology, we should have never invested in this, and it's crashing, and at that time there was several reasons for the crash, and there was the ICO crash, and everyone who's attempting and trying new stuff came in. But after that came the growth, isn't it?
Yeah, probably you're
Actually,
right.
I can see you again,
growth,
so that's cool.
Yeah, you can see me again. Oh, okay.
So what happened was it crashed, and then things started working again. And then people became excited again, the way they were excited 6-7 months ago. Yeah?
I mean, cycles, in the end, it's all, there are no cycles if there's no people that are pushing through them. There wouldn't be any cycles because things would just die out. Now, with technology, if powerful enough, then there's always people who will push it through, even when there's down cycles. And so I don't necessarily care about cycles so much, but you tend to care more, I guess. But I'm more like, what should be done in a down cycle? Where should teams like ours focus in a down cycle? I think there's new opportunities in down cycles that are brought, and those opportunities are, discussing with crypto exchanges for bringing tokenized real estate to those exchanges as an experiment, maybe, or as a new type of product that they haven't, or that was not sought after in a bull market. Because in a bull market, everybody is looking for a new exchange listing of a crypto token that will go 10x, or maybe 100x, because I don't know, Coinbase will list it, or Binance would list it. But in a downtrend, there's opportunity for new stuff to be used, or to attract the user base of crypto investors, I would say. And I think it just brings new opportunities to the table, and new conversations. And if you're able to grasp that, then you can get deals done that otherwise would never be there.
Let me tell you why am I interested in cycles. For this specific reason, because I believe this is how we react to cycles. Now, if we look at the past year and a half, in the past year and a half, actually, beyond the bubble, regardless of the bubbling crypto markets, there's big players like JP Morgan and the likes who were investing in blockchain. Why is that?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yes.
I thought it was a rhetorical question. It was a new emerging technology, and I don't think that the hype cycle not necessarily produces failing projects. There's a lot of players that came from the dot-com bubble and are still alive. And ever, big companies. So it's not something that only after the cycle the good things come. That's not the case. So I think if you're a long-term investor, like probably JP Morgan, let's say, it's invested in long-term. So the cycle might have been, overestimation by a certain segment of the market, but then I don't think it's that important. If you see and find something tangible, something that works and that can live throughout cycles, then
so what
you
could
should
live
not
throughout
wait
cycles?
for a downtrend. It's not like buying real estate in Palm Jumeirah, for instance, where you might get a great deal because there's honestly thousands of similar apartments around. and there's always going to be a good deal on the table somewhere. But investing in Coinbase, it's probably closed now, and it was not at the time, maybe.
So let's talk about this. What's important in cycles? So forget about the yes, we see the hype cycle, we see the hype trend line, and we see what happens after that. And when big players come in, you know, I'm an ex-Marriott, and in hospitality, Marriott say that we are a leader of the industry, but we're a follower in markets. So what we do is, and correct me if I'm wrong for anyone who's a Marriott and hears this and says, no, we're not, we're different. This is what I feel is the ethos of Marriott, at least when I was part of Marriott, and I loved my time there. And what they do is they wait for everyone to try a market, and then they come in. They know that they are the biggest network. They know that they are the strongest in hospitality. They know that they have a great loyalty. They know that they have great brands. So they come afterwards and they impact that. Let's talk about what matters. When cycles come, what should you be invested in? How would you escape a downtrend that may take place and that would be taking place today?
I don't know. I'm not an investment expert.
So you mentioned
honestly.
something. You mentioned something that tells me that this is a way for people to escape. You mentioned that probably, and we've been talking about it today, people can start buying tokens on exchanges, and exchanges can start, but because there's also an exit for the exchange that needs volume and that needs people to trade on. Tokens that have an underlying real estate product, where they have that underlying real estate product, it's a performing physical asset, and it pays well with time, and it performs well regardless of what's happening with a token. Do you feel that that's the right direction for people?
I don't know. Honestly, I just think that in a time of the cycle where we are now, new products can be brought to market and tested and seen if people like them, because probably right now it's more for the day traders, the time for in terms of cryptocurrency. There's people that wouldn't touch cryptocurrency at the moment, or invest more money into it, even though it might be a good buying opportunity. There's still option that things go down by half, while probably the trend upwards, it's a bit more down the line. I don't know. I'm pros again.
Since some time, but don't worry about it. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so for today, for the live session, we started about cycles, but we actually said we're going to talk about the community a bit and what's happening. So I wanted actually to talk about a couple of things that we're doing in Blocksquare, and that is we brought on the team and a new team member. So that's one thing. Daniel Keynes, who's assuming the role of head of risk. So if you look at so his background, he comes from, you mentioned JP Morgan previously. So his experience comes from JP Morgan, working there on mortgage-backed securities and associated risks. So I think this is kind of in this moment a very important role that we're bringing on the team, and the reason for it is because we're developing a DeFi protocol backed by real estate or real estate cash flow, and I think this requires a specific look on the risks that are present, especially if you look at the Terra Luna debacle, and if you look at, on the other side, MakerDAO's success. And in MakerDAO, they really have a big emphasis on the risk. So of evaluating risks that are present, and I think here with Ocean Point we are going in that direction. So welcome, Daniel, to the team.
Welcome, Daniel. A great add to the team, and as you said, a very important part of what we ought to be doing and what we need to do is driven by Daniel, because risk assessment and having a strategy to make sure that we mitigate risk, because risks are available. We can never eliminate them, but we can mitigate them. And having somebody with his experience adds so much to our ability to do so effectively.
Yeah, and he has, like we've been discussing this before him joining in this role. And he has a very structured way of looking at risk, dissecting it, analyzing it. And I think this is exactly what we need, so that when cycles happen, so that I go back to the discussion of cycles, when cycles happen, we have a product that can survive those cycles, and that kind of can react and expand and contract with the cycles, and doesn't go into the risk of failing because of a downtrend. This needs to survive in any environment, I would say. Second thing that we said we're gonna also mention is the
work that Julia is doing.
Competition. Julia just posted on Discord a giveaway where we're encouraging the community to just create a simple video of mentioning Blocksquare, tokenization, real estate, and that's, I think, also a great initiative. I think we already had received one video. So what you need to do is log into Discord, just go to the giveaway section, read the rules there. We're not going to talk about the rules right now, but it's all written there. And there's I think 40,000 BST for those that will provide the best videos. So I think this is kind of a great opportunity for community members to just produce a very simple thought or video on tokenization of real estate. So I think that's another quite cool thing.
And I believe what we're doing there, Julia is working hard to try and engage the community and grow the community at the same time. And we hear it day in, day out, that the community is keen to see what's coming, is keen to see version 2, is keen to see version 3. And it's very important to have every single member of the community engaged. And I believe this is a very good, smart way to engage everyone and to allow them to add the value they want to add. Because the good thing about our community is everyone in it wants to add value. Everyone in it wants to work towards a better tomorrow. Dennis, today, when we talk about what we're doing and what we're working on daily, we meet too many people on a daily basis trying to have new marketplaces launched. We meet too many people on a daily basis trying to have more knowledge share, trying to run pilots probably with the local governments. We do much of that. What do you believe is the thing that we can engage the community with today, anyone who will hear this session, that will allow them to really add value and benefit from that value add that they do within the coming few weeks?
I think kind of it's very simple. Just push content that we are producing, or create content themselves, or engage within Discord, engage in Telegram, engage on social media. So just simple stuff that the community can kind of do. What also can be done is make introductions. I mean, people who are part of our community have introduced us to other people. And those introductions then in the end might end up in new developments. Maybe we get a contact in a government somewhere. We do a pilot with them. Maybe we get a contact with a landowner or a real estate owner or a management company or whatever. So things that create or open up possibilities. So introductions are very welcome. And I see many members of the community actually doing that already. I had the pleasure of meeting great people through introductions made by community members.
So
what do you feel? What do you feel can be done?
I do feel that introductions is a great way. I do feel that when people do engage at that level, first, not only do they benefit by adding value to the person who is being introduced, but they're adding value to everyone who's part of our ecosystem. And that's what we all ought to do, I believe, on a daily basis. What I wanted to share today also, knowing that after playing with it last time and could have crashed the block chat last time, is our marketplace currently and what we have tokenized. How many properties do we have tokenized currently, Denis?
Listed here, I think it's like 30 something, or maybe a bit less.
How many properties have been tokenized in total, including the ones that are tokenized in pipeline, although not listed today yet?
Oh, in total, it's 38 properties.
Okay, and 38 properties that are tokenized are a value of what?
I think it's 33 million.
Okay.
US. Okay. Yeah.
And what cities? Let's actually go through the cities together. What do you think? So we start here.
Can do that, yeah.
We start here by Dubai. Yeah?
Yeah.
And we have a variety of property in Dubai, from commercial to hotel apartments to other kinds of property in Dubai. Then
maybe you can, because you know those properties on top. Maybe you can say a few words for each.
I would start by the first. I know the properties very well here. Okay, the first property here we start with is a property that is a commercial property in Tikam, Bersha Heights. It's a very prominent building. It's a very good building, a nice building, and it's a rented office. It has a good return, and at the current times, I would say it's one of the best, if not the best, office buildings in the area and the surrounding. Yeah, obviously there's much better office buildings in town, but it's one of the best office buildings in the surrounding, if not the best in the surrounding. The second is an Oceana Palm Jumeirah. It has one of the best views in Dubai, and I believe in the world. It's the skyline of Marina. Now here you see some scrabble because this is being developed in front of it and it's finished. It's not a building being built, it's a greenery being put together. And here is West Beach with some of the biggest hotels, best hotels, and you can see also the St. Regis Beach Club and other nightclubs and other clubs that are in front of you over here. But you have a perfect view of the sea and the skyline. The third one is an address downtown, address Fountain Views. This is an address Fountain Views, not address downtown. It has a full view of the fountain and the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world, from every room. It's a 2-bedroom apartment, and it's one of the rare finds on the market. Usually, it's the best type of them. And then we go to
those properties up there. Is this all kind of long-term rental, or is it short-term, or is it managed, or is it fixed income, or how?
Now the office is a long-term rental. The 2-bedroom here is a short-term rental, and the 2-bedroom here is a short-term rental supposedly. However, the tenant has been renewing for the last, what would I say, year. So it's a short-term contract, but it became a long-term contract through the kind of renewal that he's doing.
So somebody from the community could actually fly to Dubai and rent it out, the short-term stay?
Yes, actually they can.
Flat
if it's available, they do.
Is it? I mean, if it's available at the time.
If it's available at the time, yes, they can rent it.
Yep.
Yep.
That would be a winning video, I think, for the giveaway. It's like,
100%.
oh, I'm here in this tokenized land in Oceania Baltic.
Let me tell you actually what is available, because I believe one of the ones that are here is currently available. So maybe one of the community members, we'll reach it. We'll see if we reach it. Actually, it's not here, the SLS. Probably it's not here yet. But yes, there is a property that's currently available, and it's being refurnished. Brand new furniture is being put in there within the coming week. Hopefully, it will be fully furnished. So yes, a member of the community can fly in, can rent that property, or we can create some giveaway and can take a value or video of that property.
Awesome.
Let's check it out after the live to see if that property has been tokenized already or not. It's still in the pipeline, because there's few in the pipeline that hasn't been tokenized. Then we go here to, we'll come back to Dubai in a minute, but here we go to Bruges. Tell us more, please, about those properties, because we have two beside each other in Bruges, guest houses. Tell us more about them.
There's actually three in Bruges. So one is below.
Yes.
We don't see it fully, but it's basically very well, I mean, very nice, renovated, very nice style. If you go to the website of the owner of those properties, you're going to see more images there. But we're going to add them, so when the properties become clickable and you can explore more details on them, you're going to see there's beautiful interior, and it's short-term rental, which was a bit distressed throughout COVID, you know. So the owner actually started looking into alternatives, you know, and because he was also invested a bit in cryptocurrency and attracted to it, got in touch with us, and I think that was in the time when we were doing the Fibri tokenization challenge. Actually, that's how through that challenge that we met.
Okay.
And and then we have here the student house in Ljubljana. So this is a property I manage and own, and this has 31 tenants. So I think it's 7 double bedrooms, and the rest is single rooms with shared bathrooms, amenities like kitchen, etc. So it's like a co-living. From the outside, it doesn't look much. It's one of those big houses that were built in the 60s. And now they're very hard to sell, actually. So you can get a good deal on the market when you buy them and refurbish them for student accommodation, which is very low in supply in the city of Ljubljana. So it's fully booked every year. It's 1-year contracts that can get renewed. There's like 60-70% of the tenants actually renew them for a median of 2.5, maybe 2.7 years, So
and I believe there is shortage in the city of students housing, and I believe there is a few universities surrounding that area. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the University of Ljubljana it's quite the largest in the region. There's students coming also from other countries, from Croatia, Serbia, Bosnia, from Macedonia. So because it's European based, so I think there's like 14,000 students each year.
Cool.
And at the same time, it's also a tourism city. So a lot of small apartments are being rented out for short-term rental, and which just then diminishes the supply of apartments available for students, while there's no really big campus, or there's not enough beds there, and there's no plot where a big campus is planned. So for next 5-7 years, probably there's no competition there.
Perfect. And I believe that there will always be a lag, usually, because the city grows in general and more people attend. You know, you can't go wrong with universities and hospitals, probably, yeah?
Yeah, and I think even in an economic downturn through the last crisis, I think actually
Weathered well, huh?
enrollment in universities
Yes.
was growing.
Yep. Yep. Here we have one in Vienna, 3 rental apartments in Vienna. Tell us more about
this. This is apartments owned by one of our community members. He has the other one in Vienna is also, I believe, his apartment. I mean, he owns it. And these 3 apartments are kind of attached together. And Vienna is a very stable rental market, I would say. The yield is not as high because the value of the assets, it's generally quite high, I would say.
And with more stability, it's more maturity in the market, so usually the yield is lower, yeah?
Exactly. So you don't have those cycles. You know, it would be hard for you to end up there in a situation where you're buying an asset and then you wake up at a 30% discounted valuation in a couple of weeks' time. Which is something that you mentioned happened in Dubai previously because there's just price discovery. It's like people don't know which locations, or still didn't know at the time which locations are bad.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then we see another one in Vienna, probably owned by the same community member, yeah?
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
And then we have another one in Bruges.
Exactly. So it's again a short-term rental building with, I think, a couple of units that are rented out. The cash flow, when we were going through the cash flows, Bruges is a great city. I mean, it's a very historical city center. It's a beautiful city indeed. There's a lot of tourist action throughout the year. So cash flows are very good. But it was during COVID times that those were obviously much lower, which I think right now it's, as I hear, it's picking up again and it's going back to normal, more or less.
And that will happen. So probably the worst is behind us with COVID, hopefully. And I believe many European cities have announced themselves or announced COVID irrelevant to them and their future. And many cities in the world, yeah? Beside it is a property in Balkis residence. It's on Palm Jumeirah in Dubai. Look at that amazing view. It's a cool development. It's a resort style living. It's not a top luxury property and location. The location is top. There's no better location, but it's not a top luxury property. It's not a modern property either, but it's a new building. It's approximately a year old, and it has great views, as you see. The one beside it is in Golden Mile, also on Palm Jumeirah, the 8th wonder of the world. So it's a 2-bedroom apartment. Actually, this specific one should have a re-evaluation. The value here shows 0. Probably we haven't updated it yet. However, this specific apartment, and I believe there should be another one of it. It's not here probably. Probably it's in the pipeline. Yeah, it's not here yet. It's probably in the pipeline. This property is now a 3-bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've added to this property another room, because this property is a 2,600 square foot 2-bedroom. So another room was added around a week ago. Okay. And it's now a 3-bedroom, so it's more interesting even. Sorry?
By the way, Makram, who is the typical tenant in Dubai for this type of apartments?
Okay, so there's 2 kinds of tenants. On short term, you have the you have the tourists, and there's plenty of them, specifically in areas like downtown and Palm Jumeirah, where most of the properties in Dubai that we have tokenized are in. Those are the top two locations. And when we talk downtown, if you've seen, those are the front row, so first row in downtown. And I believe there's few in downtown that aren't tokenized yet, are in the pipeline. Those are front row. Those are perfect properties from a location perspective, and the ones here are perfect also from a quality perspective. They're in address hotels are known to be very luxurious hotels, and they possess the best views around. Now, there's also the other tenant, which is the major tenant for long-term rentals, which is the resident in Dubai, somebody like me, somebody who lives here, has his kids go to school. Golden Mile, for example, is a perfect family living. It's a location where behind it there's a park. It's beautiful, and if you look through the location and through what it provides, behind you is a beach, in front of you is a park, under you is a galleria with all kinds of shops and shopping. It's a calm area, yet it's in the middle of the city. You need less than 1 minute, you reach Sheikh Zayed Road, which is the main road, main highway in Dubai, and I would say in UAE. And you will reach schools within few minutes. You will reach universities and the knowledge village within less than 4 or 5 minutes. So everything is around you. Everything is directly around you, and it's perfect. It's just perfect. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, perfect. Thanks for.
Don't get me started on that, because I can talk about that forever. So over here we have another property in Dubai Hills Estate. It's a co-living property, and by the way, this is in a building called Collective One. It's a new building. It's directly beside the new mall, which is the Dubai Hills Estate Mall. It's a very nice, funky building. It's a beautiful. Actually, on this, I have on YouTube a full video of the location, okay, of the property itself, because it was an exciting property to receive, to get handover of. Over here, beside it, we have the 2-bedroom in Shoreline. Again, Shoreline is on Palm Jumeirah, so it's perfect location in Dubai. And then we reach another one in Antalya in Turkey. Tell us more about this, Denis, please.
I would, but I don't know much about it, I'll be honest. But it's owned by a member of our community.
Let me tell you some details about Antalya. Yeah, it's a very touristic destination. Yeah. It's actually, this property is in one of the good vincities in Antalya. I haven't analyzed the property in depth, so I'll give you a general idea about it. It has so much potential on a short term. It has so much potential on a capital appreciation usually. Again, I'm not valuing this specific property. I'm just giving you an idea about what's there for many reasons. One of them is the Turkish lira. Second of them is the potential of the country and the potential of the country from an economic point of view, as well as from a touristic point of view. The area is amazing. It's just amazing place. Yeah.
Okay.
Then Perfect. We go. You'll take my word for it. I'll take your word for it.
I'll take your word for it. Yeah.
Everyone should visit Antalya, by the way. It's a beautiful place.
Then we have 3 properties in Verden. It's from another member of our community, another BST token holder. The first one, it's like essentially it's a short-term 20 rooms pension. It's what it's called in Germany, which is basically like a bed and breakfast, I would say. Okay. But right now, I think throughout COVID, it has been leased for kind of midterm because of obviously downtrend of visitors. So it has been rented out to a company, I believe a construction company. So so this is one thing. Then there's this mixed-use complex in Verden, which is, I think, it's a restaurant plus some shops, And that's what I know about it from the top of my mind. And then there's a house being rented out for residential living. I think it's a single family house.
Perfect. And then we have here again Izmir, Turkey, a city with so much potential. So much potential. Do you know much about it to tell us, Denis?
I don't know about Izmir a lot, but I know that I was looking at this building specifically. I even sent, I think, when I was looking at it, because it's a new development, and there's a couple of high-end suites in this building that have just an amazing terrace with a pool, even. And you can find it on Discord. I think the image that I shared there. The apartment, though, it's a smaller unit, as you see from the valuation. But I think, as I heard, Izmir is like a very up and coming market in Turkey.
Yep,
so
it is.
There's a lot of development being done there.
Yep, it is.
Yeah.
There's risks in Turkey and there's potential in Turkey. And by the way, this is why Endro's role is very important, because identifying the risks, mitigating them is very ideal, especially when we are doing what we're doing with Ocean Point. What about the property we have here in Vienna?
It's another rental unit, long-term lease contract, as you see from the APY projected. It's a smaller apartment, but again, good location, relatively new building, and very kind of stable, solid investment, I believe.
Perfect. Here we go to Quebec, Canada. Guys, a market that has so much potential. It has grown so far, but has so much potential. This specific house have just been renovated recently, okay? The market there has so much potential because remember, it doesn't get driven similar to Vancouver and other markets in Canada by so much of tourism and outside money, although the money that international investors are putting into countries like Canada is impacting the whole market, because a ripple effect will reach everywhere. But Quebec is one of those more stable locations, and probably because of the difference in language. It's French usually, so it's less popular. Actually, less popular is the wrong word. I'm so sorry for whoever is a Quebecan or is offended by that. It's the place that international investors, unless they're French speakers, do not feel most comfortable with because of the difference in language, although English is widely spoken there. So it's a very high potential. It's a 4-bedroom house, and it has just been renovated, and it's in a beautiful area as well. We reach another one. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, perfect. I'm saying, because I don't know about Quebec that much, but more kind of Canada in general. But yeah, it's great to hear some details on it.
I love that market. I don't believe it's for everyone, but it's a safe market. Now let's see what the coming years will get for markets that have been this safe for so long. But it's a safe market. It's driven mainly by mortgages. Most of the buyers are people who are living there. People buy 1 or 2 or 3 houses usually to rent out. The mortgage pays for, or the property pays for itself most of the time, and sometimes it has positive cash flow. What I love about those 3 properties that we have here are they are in very good buildings, and they are in low risk buildings. And low risk when people buy in, for example, if you go to Germany now, you can buy a sandstone house or a solid stone house. A sandstone house has too many risks that only probably someone who knows it very well understands how to work with it. Similarly, in Canada, if you go for a brick house, it's different than going for a different style of building or different type of building. Those properties in Quebec, the two-bedroom apartments we see in front of us, are also in very well selected, very good areas, and at the same time very good buildings. As you see, the return is low. They have the potential to improve the return with time, although I believe that market have done so much on valuation improvement for the past few years that returns lag. As you know, rentals in such markets lag sometimes. Okay, and then we go to Palm Jumeirah again. A Shoreline, it's a 3-bedroom in Shoreline. It's a brilliant property in a brilliant location. You know, people who know me know that I am biased towards Palm Jumeirah all the time. And then we go to a property in Lebanon, where I come from. Actually, this is a land that's 56,000 or 57,000 square foot. Actually, 52,000 square foot. Pardon me, guys. So 52,000 square foot. It has 130 meters of road frontage in a brilliant area. You can't see it from this picture, but it's an amazing area. It's just fascinating. This land was planned for an ecotourism location and probably will end up being an tourism like guest houses because of its proximity. Okay. First, it's on the road. 130 meters of road frontage is very good. At the same time, its proximity from one of the most important, it's the most, not one of the most important natural reserves in the Middle East. It's the Baruch Reserve. And it's a Cedars Reserve. It's amazing. It's just fascinating. I can share, Denis, with you some of the pictures there with hiking on hiking times. It's out of this world.
Yeah. You should add them to this to the property so people have a better understanding of where it is once we add the details on each properties. 100%. I was thinking because we are. I think it's almost 7 p.m. here, so we are, running for an hour. I thought maybe we stop with the properties and we leave them for next time.
Exactly. Let's do that. And actually, next time we'll have more probably on here. Your picture is moving again, so we can go back to exactly. So. I've been trying
I need to take care of not moving too much, so then I end up freeze like this,
Exactly. So, no, actually, what I've done is I've taken a snap of you to cover your picture. If you, so it has been a good block chat, bumpy in the beginning because we were trying to figure out, guys. Let me tell you what happened. So we were online. Everything was working well, and then prior to going online, it stopped working. So we weren't prepared for a camera not working. So I was online, I went online, and I could talk about what our subject is for hours. However, at the same time, while I was talking, I was trying to create an invite for Denis, send it to him so that he can join, approve him, and then get him into our slide here. So it was bumpy. And then when he started freezing, it was also unexpected. So I was trying to improvise, getting stuff and talking about them at the same time. But anyway, we've survived it. I hope that you have survived it with us as well. It's great news to have Andrew on board. Great news to our CMO, Julia, with all the work that she's doing. And great talking about cycles today. And hopefully you'll be less impacted by the negative news that will still come from the markets in the coming few days. Think BST. It's a token that is backed by a project first. Forget about the real estate for a second. It's a project. You have...
By a team.
And the team.
By a great team. By a great team, by the way.
A great team. Now you have me there, so I'm not sure how great it is, after that addition to the team, but it's neither are you. Hey, this is the first thing Denis agrees with me perfectly on. So at the same time, it's a project, it's a team, there's technology, it's ready, guys. So if you look at technology and projects that are tech projects, the biggest risk is prior to you launching a working solution. Post launching a working solution, you have something ready, you have a product to sell. We've passed all of this period. Today it's a project, there is a product to sell. At the same time, there is real estate, $300 to $600 trillion of economic power. And this is what we're trying to disrupt and impact and improve. What more can we tell everyone, Denis, today? What would you like to tell everyone?
I would like to conclude with what we started, cycles. they're circular. So, we keep on moving like this. And, when you're down, the next day you're up. And that's something that happens normally. So don't feel bad when things are down. And don't feel like you're at, the top of the world when things are up. Just try to realistically look at where you are. Don't over expect, and you will be surprised by always achieving more than you thought was possible.
I wanna, while you're talking about this, you reminded me of something that's very important that I wanna show on the screen now. And while I'm showing that, I wanna tell everyone there is an industry report from Fibri coming up next week, yeah, and or in around 10 days or in less than 10 days, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
And I'm frozen again.
You're frozen again?
Okay. Yes.
Let's hope that I can replace you while you're
smiling when I freeze.
So actually, most of my job today was replacing Denis when he gets frozen. So guys, I want to share with you something while telling you that I believe that the Fibri industry report is something that's very important for people to look forward to. Because I believe that the Fibri industry report is something that is so impactful when we talk real estate today and blockchain in real estate. You will see some amazing data there. There's so much of beautiful, amazing articles. At the same time, I believe it's a reference when it comes to blockchain in real estate. So anyone who's following us, that's what you need to look out to. The first slides that we shared today were from the Fibri industry report. This is not from the Fibri industry report. Actually, I was trying to hide where is it from, but it seems I didn't hide it very well. But it talks exactly about what Denis was talking about. It's cycles, yeah? And this is how circular cycles are. You have oversupply, you have slump, and here is real estate cycles, but all cycles are circular. All cycles are revolve in the same way and come back out. And we say that the new high is usually higher than the last high. And a new low is usually higher than the last low. So it's always better, it always improves. Denis, would you like that we conclude with this and your image frozen?
Yeah, I can be frozen, it's fine. Thank you everybody for being part of the community. Let's looking forward for the next block chat, I guess.
Looking forward for where you're moving.
Yeah, probably when I'm moving. Maybe one thing we need to say before we conclude the stream, and I'm moving again, look at that, and which is there's going to be this kind of July, August time. We're going to try and do maybe obviously a live session as well, but probably next few weeks we'll have pre-recorded sessions for you, and maybe more engagement through, I don't know, just chatting on Discord, what's going on. Maybe not a video recorded session, but maybe just a voice kind of room on Discord between community members that want to be updated on what's going on. So this is things to how we will kind of deal with I would say summertime.
We will deal with summertime. The good thing, the positive, there's always positive stuff about things. The positive thing about it is that you will not see us with hiccups and being frozen because it will be pre-recorded sessions. So hopefully it will be a few weeks of no hiccups. Do not think that we lack consistency. It's just a few weeks that we're on vacation, so hiccups are not happening. We'll come back and we'll go back to our hiccups.
And I'm not on vacation, honestly. I'm just moving to a different location, so not to the summer house. which it's a bit more crazy with kids not at school and running around. So it's hard to do maybe a proper block chat session. And that's the reason. But I never take off. I always I work every day, honestly. So don't worry. But I have a challenge for Makram. So Makram is going on vacation, visiting Italy and France. And I want Makram to come back with 2 tokenized properties, one in Italy and one in France.
My wife will be so happy of you, Denis. You know, you're such an amazing spirit.
You don't need a lot of time. You need 3 minutes.
You're a great salesman. When you said you don't need, I didn't need a lot of time. I thought you said you don't need a wife.
Oh, you do need a wife.
Okay, perfect. So
I have one.
I hopefully will be happy I hopefully will have for you a tokenized property in Italy and in France. Regardless of that, you are sure of one thing. I will make people in Italy and France bored of tokenization and real estate tokenization, and hopefully we'll create a good impact. Thank you all. Enjoy your evening and your morning, your day, wherever you are. We'll come back to you with another block chat next week.